There we go. Okay, I think you guys can hear me now. I had to mess with my audio settings real quick. Okay, so I'm doing the challenge lab. Um, First thing I had to do, I had to download the application. And by the way, I'm using the Ubuntu operating system, which is based off of the Linux operating system. I've been doing it with Windows for other people who might, because I believe the majority of the class uses Windows. But in case you don't use Windows and you're using something like Ubuntu or Linux operating system, so this is how you would do it for that system. Um, so of course you would download and extract your files like I did earlier. All right, so we did that. I'm gonna minimize all that because we don't need it right now. Okay, so first things first, we have to create our S3 bucket. Da 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 da. Yeah, yeah, done, done. Okay, S3. I should be able to do this side by side. I believe. Let's see. Arrow snap, perfect. And then arrow snap, perfect. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create our bucket. Um, T coffee love. It has to be lowercase. Coffee love demo 0001. Okay, so we have our name, globally unique. We're gonna go ahead and pick our region, East 1, US East 1. We're gonna leave this as it is. We're gonna leave the ACLs disabled because we're gonna be using bucket policy for this static website. So we're gonna uncheck block all public addresses because we want it to be publicly accessible. So we're gonna leave versioning disabled for now. We're gonna enable it in a different bucket later though. And I believe that is all we need for our bucket. So we're gonna go ahead and create it now. Come on, create my bucket. We must have an error somewhere. Oh, that's right. You have to acknowledge. I was like, what? All right, create my bucket now. There we go. So as you can see, my bucket has been created. So there's some things we have to do in the bucket, right? So we have to upload our content to the bucket. So let's do that. Upload content. Boom. And we're gonna add files. We're gonna add the index file first. Let's go to downloads. Index.html. Open. Okay, and then we're gonna add folders. Let's go back to downloads. Boom, upload, and then one more folder here. Downloads, images. Let's go back to download, images, upload, upload. Perfect. Destination, yes. Does it want us to? I believe that's it. Alright, upload. Create a bucket policy to create. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is create the bucket policy to add the read access. So right now we're just uploading our files to the S3 bucket, and it has completed. Perfect. And these are our files here. Excuse me, the index.html file and our image files and the CSS files. Okay, so next, create a bucket policy. So yeah, we're creating the bucket policy. It's going to be under permissions, bucket policy, edit. And here we're going to go ahead and generate our bucket policy. Allow anybody Uh, we're gonna use get object because that's what we need. Wait a minute. Switch it to S3 bucket. I'm going a little too fast. Okay, there we go. And then get object. There it is. Alright, and then we need our resource name. That would be, I'm going to duplicate this tab real fast. Go to my resource, obtain my resource name right here. And then come back and paste that here. Boom, add my statement, generate my policy. Now there's a couple of things I want to do while I'm here. I'm going to change this. Allow public read only. Because I want to allow read-only access. Let's just make sure that I have all my closers. Yep. I don't necessarily need this to be like this, but that's fine. I'm not making any lists, so I can just erase the brackets if I wish. Okay, so allow resource, that looks right. Actually, there's one other thing we have to do. Search recursively for my bucket. Perfect. And then this is our policy here. We're just gonna go ahead and copy our policy over. And save changes. Perfect. Alright, moving right along, excuse me. Enabling versioning on S3 bucket is the next thing we have to do. In this test, you will enable versioning on S3 bucket and confirm that it works in the console. Enable S3 bucket for your S3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do S3 versioning. Versioning will be under what I believe is management. No, is it management? No. What was it? I think properties. Yeah. Edit versioning is disabled. We want to go ahead and enable versioning. And we're gonna show an example of what versioning does in a second here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up the note, excuse me, our index file as notepad. I don't have a notepad. Wow. Okay. Well, let's just download that real fast. I can do that from the store, I believe. Come on. All right. And I'm looking for. Yeah, this was fine. I'm gonna not show you guys my password. Okay, cool. It doesn't show. Okay. Perfect. I was worried that I wouldn't encrypt the password. Anyways, it did. He got like 3 stars. Just Notepad++, basically. As long as it gets done what I needed to get done. Okay, let's see if now I can open this. with my newly installed Notepad. Shouldn't have an issue. Ay, ay, ay. Come on now. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to our newly installed Notepad and see if we can even open the thing. Is it maybe loading the background or something? No? Nada? Nothing? Sip? Ouch? Well, I do have a text editor. Then that one does work. Okay. Well, I can see why you're not very popular. Let's go ahead and just uninstall this bad boy. Come on. Yeah. And we're just gonna boop, boop. Extra work that I don't need. Keep it simple, silly. Alright, so from here we're gonna just go ahead and open up our index.html file. This is what it should look like. Much better, ain't it? Alright, so let's pull up our instructions, which is telling us what to do. Boom. Okay, so we're basically just going to be modifying the modifying the HTML, the index.html file. We're going to be changing the aquamarine fonts to Gainsborough, and then we're going to be changing the orange font. I said fonts. The background color from aquamarine to Gainsborough, and then the background color from orange to corn silk. So first we got to find that, right? So does it do the same thing like Windows? Perfect. Yep, I can just do that and go BG color, enter, and there it is. The three that we need to change anyways, right next to each other. So this one is supposed to be Gainsborough. This one's supposed to be corn silk. And this is supposed to be Gainsborough as well. Make sure that my spelling is indeed correct. Come on, Gainsborough, yes. Corn silk, yes. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and just save this. Perfect. So we just saved our changes, and now we're gonna go ahead and load this onto our AWS console in our S3 bucket. So upload, and we're gonna add file, our index.html file we just modified. Wait a minute, come on now. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then we're gonna select it and hit upload. Boom. All right, so I might be going a little too fast, but let's just check and see what our website looks like. I have to go to product properties. Yeah, it's supposed to be down here. That's what I forgot to do. Enable static web hosting. Index.html. Save changes. Okay, that's done. So now we should have one of these. Perfect, and we can view our website here. So originally this was aquamarine and this was orange. I just changed it from aquamarine to Gainsborough and from orange to corn silk. So this is our website right here. As you can see, it's up and running. Okay, so that's done. What else do we have to do? Like I said, I'm trying to just run through this real fast. If you do need explanation for any portion of this, just make note of the number for the instruction on the AWS Academy, and then let me know via WhatsApp or something, and I can maybe help out best I can and elaborate further. Okay, so we did that, we did that, it changed. Okay, and just to show that there's two different lists now, there's two different versions available for this file. You can show your versions. It used to be list versions, but that's deprecated. It's now show versions, and this is the look at the timestamp. This is the first, and this is the second one here. So in the first one, and I can show you opening a new tab. Hmm. Yeah, it aired out. I thought it would. Okay. If I'm going to show, I'm going to have to redo all this. I only have 1 hour to complete the lab, and I'm actually trying to complete it in less than less than an hour because I have some other things I got to take care of today. So basically, if you look at the code, um, yeah. So this is the code. I think I should be able to open it. Um, Anyways, moving right along. Okay, so what's next? We enable versioning. How is your best practice? Protecting your data. What is the? Okay, we'll answer the questions later. New business requirement: cost optimization of S3 object storage. Setting lifecycle policy. Configure two rules. Okay, so yeah, so the next thing we gotta do is the lifecycle policy. So that's gonna be in management. Just double checking, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here, and actually I'm gonna need to put this to the right and bring this up. So the two rules that we need to create is here. I'm gonna name it. The first one is going to be move to standard AI after 30 days. Okay, we're gonna do it for everything. Acknowledge. Non-current version is what we want to move. Anything that is not the current version, basically. Okay, so we want to put the number of days here. This is the transition for the non-current versions. What do we want AWS to do with them? So after 30 days, we want it to be moved to the standard IA, and that's what this rule is going to do. So let's go ahead and hit create. Okay, so that one has been created. So the second one we have to do to get full credit is the delete rule. So we're going to create another one. Delete. Previous for after 365 days. Why not previous version? Spell it all out. delete previous version after 365 days. Apply to everything, yes. So in order delete previous versions after if you get stuck, refer to this. To limit the scope of the replication to a particular bucket object, for example, the index HTML file, create a tag for the object before you create the lifecycle. I could do that, but that's gonna take too much time. Should not. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish. Delete expired object. No. Permanently delete non-current versions of objects. Yes. Non-current versions of objects become non-current. Create role. Okay, so days after object becomes non-current is 365 days. We have to specify that. And then create, create rule. Okay, so we have both of our rules here. And they're both enabled. Alright, so what's next? Architecture best practice. In this task, you implemented the architecture best practice, defining data lifecycle management. Here, explaining to learn more. Okay. New business requirement, enhancing durability and planning. So we're going to be doing cross-region replication now. So just so you know, this is going to be on the test as well from the research I've done, and from the research I've done. In order for you to enable cross-region replication, you have to make sure that versioning is enabled. If versioning is not enabled, then you cannot enable the cross-region replication. Just keep that in mind. I had to learn the hard way by trying it out, trial and error. But anyways, okay, so in order to enable, so what we're going to be doing in task 7, enabling the cross-region replication, and in order to do this, we're going to create another bucket. This is going to be our destination bucket in a different region. So let's go back to our buckets, and then we're just going to create bucket. We're going to name it come on, O2 Coffee Love Demo O2, and then we're going to make it West Coast. Yeah, alright, so we're gonna keep the ACLs disabled. We're going to make it accessible, and we're going to enable versioning. Hold on. Second bucket, enable version. Second bucket, destination bucket. Key name destination. That's just so I know which one is my source bucket and which one's my destination bucket. Yeah, just to help keep things organized. That's what the tags are for, and also to write code. If you want to call out a specific object or a specific bucket, you can use a tag to do so. Okay, so yeah, we're not messing with the object lock. We're gonna leave that disabled. We're gonna use the SSES3 manage keys and then create bucket. Perfect. Alright, so our bucket has been created here. Okay, so history bucket, enable cross. So we're gonna go to our source bucket, and we want to Where would that be? That would be, I think, in management, replication roles. Yep. And then create replication role. Create replication, make sure you replicate the entire source bucket. So show role ID. Cross region replication backup. Okay, status is enabled. Priority 0. Source bucket. Entire source bucket. That's correct. Destination bucket. Choose a bucket in this account. Browse. Of course, we're going to do the one we just created. Our destination bucket. Choose. Okay. And as you can see, they're in different regions. US East, US West. Okay, so the IM role that we're going to be using, choose an existing IM role. This is for cafe. So cafe role. Perfect. All right, and then let's actually view. This access policy allows the role to perform the replication task on all S3 buckets. In a real production environment, you should restrict the policy to apply only to your source and destination S3 bucket. For more information about creating an IAM role, refer to. Okay. So basically, we're taking a look. Permissions, boundary not set. You do not have permission. Oh, because it's a lab, they won't let me. Alright, no worries. I'll stay within parameter. I don't need this anymore. I need this to see my whatchamacallit. And yeah, this is where they're telling me no. Okay, but trust relationships, okay. Access advisor. Again, a lot of this stuff is limiting. No worries. Okay, so back here, destination class, storage class. Your source class for the application. Does it say anything about that? If you encounter work, you can Amazon's propose a range of storage classes designed for these cases. Destination storage class is supposed to be a standard IA. Then frequent access to data once a month. This is how you save money. Alright, so, okay, so what else? Additional application options. Time control, application time control. This is if you need high availability, but it's going to cost you. Application matrix notification. Matrix, I believe this is for alerting through CloudWatch Matrix. I don't think we need to mess with any other stuff right now for this lab anyways. Okay, so we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and save. Replicate existing objects. You can enable a one-time batch operation. operations job from the application configuration system the bucket. Okay, so existing objects. No, don't replicate existing object. Yes, replicate. Come on. That's the whole point. Alright, so job settings. Automatically run the job when it's ready. Yes. Generate complete report. Yes. Completion, report scope, all tasks, permissions, choose from existing IAM roles. Yes. Save. Oh, yeah, yeah. Path to completion, report, destination. Okay, then don't generate the. Then how do you know if it was completed? Yeah, you wanted to generate the. Well, this would be act as like a domain controller. You can always just boom, tell it to go here and choose path. But I'll use this one instead. Let's see if it will allow. Ah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever. That's why. Okay, so if that's why, then I should be able to just re-enable this. I'm figuring it out as I go. Boom, boom, choose path. So this should use enter IAM role, which is existing. I'm gonna use cafe role. Perfect. That was my mistake. I used the wrong role. Ugh, I was using my use role instead of using the cafe role. But successfully created job, view details. It's not available yet. Carriage when prepared fit to assume role. Okay, let's get some guidance on this. Something went wrong. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's go back. I meant to select it. Okay. Few details. Error occurred when preparing manifest. Failed to assume role. Okay, let's come back here. Tripping. Okay. Okay, let's go back to our buckets. I'm gonna duplicate this again. Okay, and go to our source. Bucket, we went to permissions. Management. Application. Oh, that's why. Okay, I think that's why that happened. Hmm. I'm looking for the S3 batch jobs.